Hey, B, it's JamiThatsMe here. What's going on, y'all? Listen, we have to talk about Wags to Riches over on Netflix. It's a really good show so far. I've gotten into episode 1 and 2. Shout out to the people over on Patreon. We've already got into it, and it's good. Okay, it's pretty good for the most part, and I want us to talk about a few things. Okay, now we're gonna try to get into a few of the characters, the ladies that are a part of the show. But I feel like it's so much because you got the stuff that's happening on the show, and then you got the people showing they R's off the show. As far as Yes Jules, that's somebody that we're gonna meet in this particular episode. She used to work for Kanye West. We'll get into more details about her, but she came out like a few weeks, maybe a month before this drop, trying to disassociate herself from the show, which is interesting because it seems like she's in quite a few episodes. So I'm like, why are you wanting to disassociate yourself from the show at this time? You also have Rick Ross's baby mom, who's a part of the show, and you've had Miss Tia Kemp come out and get into some things when it comes to her, like, girl, don't mention my name and stuff. So when I tell y'all, it is a bit messy. It's a bit funny, and I do want us to get into it. I also want us to get into more about Yes Jules because as I've been watching the show, and actually I got introduced to her a few weeks ago, where she was kind of like letting people know more about marketing tips and different apps and stuff. And I was like, okay, she seems to be really cool. But then now I'm hearing, yo, she doesn't have that great of a past. All right, she does not have that great of a past, and it's just really interesting that, the audience was willing to, or not the audience, but so much as the cast member, Miss Sharelle, was willing to give her a chance, but not Stony. Okay. And that's interesting. And I hate it because I feel like conversations of colorism may come into play when it comes to the show, being that majority of the women are of a lighter complexion, whereas Stony is the darkest one. And I'm like, stab, stab, stab. Miss Sharelle, I'm not really liking that. I feel like you are showing up this season as a Evelyn just a little bit. Evelyn Lozada, yes, your man's ex. And I know you may hate to hear the similarities that people may bring up about you guys, but it's showing up just a tad bit. Now, I really enjoyed you for being the boss that you were over on what was it called? It was selling Tampa, right? It was selling Tampa, and I really enjoyed you over on that show. But how you're showing up on this show, girl, you've accomplished a few more things since you've done that show, and that head has blown up. The more deals that you've gotten and the more money that you have gotten, I feel like the head has gotten a bit bigger, as well as you being connected to Chad and now being the mother of his child, and formally engaged to him. It's giving the head got bigger the more you got attached to bigger things, I suppose. All right. And I don't like it because I do like Sharelle a lot. So I am going to call you out accordingly, because you are a person that I like and I would like to see better. Okay. Just a little bit. And shout out to my girl Ashley. Love some Ashley all the way down. But Ashley, I may have to clock you just a little bit as the season is continuing to go on. I have been waiting. I'll always leave a comment on your Instagram page every now and again telling you how much I miss you on my TV screen and stuff. And I was so happy to find out that you were filming, and I figured you would be back. And I'm so glad to see you back on my screen because I want to know what you've been up to, what Phil been up to, what the boys been up to. So I'm so happy to see an original WAG from Wags Miami be a part of this show. But Ashley, I might have to get you a little bit. You seeming like you're a little pit bull for Miss Sharelle, and maybe it's warranted, right? But we're gonna get into it. All right. Oh, excuse me, girl. I just spit that water out just a little bit. I think I overfilled my cup. But anywho, I want us to go ahead and let me get my notes up and things because we do have to talk about this episode. You guys know what to do. You know how to show your manners when you come into a space. Hello, hello. I'm speaking. You know what to do when you come into a space. All right. So we start this episode off, episode 1, with Sharelle being on the golf course with Chaz. She about to take him out completely. All right. I feel like she was trying to knock his head off from old and new SHI. Being that Chad has shown his ass in the past few weeks. I see why she was trying to take his head off down to the golf course, okay? Now, they are later joined by Portia and Andre. And what we learn is that Portia is married to Andre, who happens to be a retired boxer, professional boxer, from my understanding. They got some kids or whatnot. Seems like life is great. They moved down to Miami, and she's looking to elevate, okay? Which is why she's allowing herself to be connected to Sharelle in hope of further elevation. Now, one thing that seems to be an issue, I would assume, in the marriage of Portia and Andre is him not wearing that ring, because she sees that Chad is wearing one. She brings attention to it. Chad is definitely looking forward to being married. So he says, listen, I'm getting my practice in. I'm going ahead and I'm wearing my ring. So when that time comes, it's not something that's an issue for me because I wear it anyway. Baby, Chad wants to be a kept man so bad, okay? Chad wants to be a husband so bad is what is giving, okay? I mean, maybe it is his engagement ring. He gave one to Sharelle. Now he got one. And you know what? That's not an uncommon thing, because I remember my husband mentioning that too, where he wanted the ring as well. I don't know. Maybe that's what guys be wanting when they engage. They want a ring too, child. So that's what he has going on, okay? Alexis, all right? So we get to Alexis, who I think is going to be a favorite of mine on this show. We get to Alexis and Ashley. But let me talk about Alexis real quick. When I saw Alexis later on in the episode, when they're talking about, the different ladies and her wanting people to like give folks a chance and have a little grace and stuff, I felt seen. Okay? I felt seen. Through Alexis, I felt seen because I try to give individuals grace at times, okay? And I'm with Alexis, all right? I like how Alexis is not really trying to be a part of the mess. Okay, not at this time. We don't know how Alexis is going to show up later in the season, but at this time, I'm really liking her. I like how she's open to hearing a person's situation, not judging them right out the gate, hearing what they have to say, and just wanting to have a bit of compassion towards them, their situation, and everything, because in Alexis's head, in my opinion, there's room for everybody. Okay? Regardless of what your past may have been, that is a part of your testimony. You can always change that and walk in a new and a better light whenever you're ready. And I just really like Alexis, who sees things from both sides and not just one-sided of, I heard this about you, so I don't rock with you. I don't like you. I'm not here for it, right? It doesn't mean that with her being in the middle, she's going to let people automatically get so close to her, but she's open to hearing who you are, what you're about, you know what I'm saying, what your past is. She's giving people the grace that she would want somebody to extend to her, and I love that for Alexis, and I feel seen through Alexis, okay? I think she's going to be like a fave for me, okay? Let's get to, also, did we know that she was the ex-wife of Amar'e Stoudemire? I think that's how you say his last name, and honestly, I saw it, but I didn't catch it, right? Until he walks in later on in the episode, and I was like, oh, okay. I don't know if she has any children or anything, if they've had kids together. I think they've known each other for some time. I think they were dating. I thought she said like in high school or something before they got married or whatever the case is. So they got their situation, and they seem to be good. They hugged each other. All was well, so I don't know if they want that old thing back or not, but we'll learn that at a later time. So it was nice to see him, knowing that's his ex-wife, to show up to that event later on, because a lot of men, they don't, once you get clout or whatever, or attention off of being an ex-wife, baby mama, some of them don't want to come on the show and do no favors, and then hell, they're going to be trying to pull a stunt like Dwight Howard where they gag order you and you can't advance. So to see him kind of show up and add that connection is one thing. To hear that that's his ex-wife, but then to see him on this, I'm like, okay, cool. All right. Liking the show, liking the guys being a part. Let's keep going. All right. So Ashley, like I said, she's an original wag. Her husband is Phil. I can't think of Phil's last name or what their last name is at this time, but let's see. It's Ashley, Phil Wheeler. That's what it is. The Wheelers, okay? Phil is very handsome. Love some Ashley and Phil down. Love the fact that after all these years, they are still together. They only have 2 children. Don't know if she want any more, but they have 2 cute little boys. And life seems to be doing just as great for them now as it was before. Okay, here for it. Love to hear that. All right, let's get to MJ, who's also known as Miranda, happens to be a rapper, also a real estate estate agent. I guess she's trying to get into real estate. Haven't really seen her sell any houses just yet or do anything in real estate just yet, because we are on just episode 1 and I'm not going to go any further ahead. All right. So with MJ has a lot of growing up to do. When I learned that MJ's baby daddy was Kodak Black, that was enough for me to know that she has yet to grow up how she needs to. And it's going to take some time because she's young. I'm not sure of her age. I thought they said she was 21, but I don't think she's older than the age of 24. Let me look her up, because I'm just wondering what her age is. Her name is Miranda Johnson, but I'm not necessarily... Okay, so... Yeah, I'm not necessarily seeing her age just yet, but yeah, okay. It looks like somebody else asked her age. Did they list her age? So she's about 21. Okay, so she's young. She's learning. She already has 2 children. I'm not sure if both of those children are by Kodak Black or not, but she has children. She has at least 1 child for sure by him. So she's over at the jewelry store and she's trying to ice out her brand new child's, body with a chain or whatnot. And I'm just like, girl, no ma'am. Now I will say this. I do think that the money that she's going to spend on this chain, I think with Kodak Black being her baby daddy, her being a rapper, she's going to make that money back like this. Okay. And in this influencer phase, she's going to make her money back like this, right? And she is operating from a space where a lot of people do when they've never had anything. They just want to go and splurge. And I hate it because it's more so them trying to splurge and show out in front of the people. Okay, it's going back to that childhood, that high school mentality, that junior high mentality where I want to show off to the people that I grew up around that saw that I didn't have those things, and now I could flex and show y'all what I got. So a lot of this showboating and buying flashy things is really to show off to the people back at home that's likely not even thinking about y'all or even care about y'all. And that's interesting as I say that, because a lot of times people also allow those people that they grew up with to likely hold them back. I think that a lot of people don't go for some of their dreams or whatever it may be because they're so worried about what other people may say or think about them, when half the time them people got their own challenges. Ain't nobody think about you. Just go out there and do what you want to do. And it's really interesting because we're going to talk about this again later in the episode, because they ain't gonna care. They ain't gonna be the ones to support you anyway, because a stranger gonna do it faster than them. So just get out there and do your thing, whatever it is. Okay, that's just a little tangent that I went on. Now, let's get back into it. So she buys this expensive chain for her son, and I was initially kind of like, you know what, like, girl, why are you buying this chain for that boy? Like, that's crazy. Go and buy him a house, this, that, and the other. And then I say, well, let me scale back and say, one, I don't know. I would think she could get that money back quickly, potentially, possibly. But I don't know. Because I remember I had made a post one time on Facebook about getting my son a particular pair of shoes. And then somebody, this older woman that I've known for, since I was a kid, got in my comments and tried to tell me that I could have got him a certain other type of shoe. And I'm like, first of all, who the hell are you to police any of my money or what it is that I do for my son or what I want to do? So are you okay? All right. And then you talking to me like the shoes was $500. Girl, them shoes didn't cost that damn much. Okay, I think that was like $100 or some dollars. Like, are you okay, ma'am? Like, it was just like, and that's typically like the price of the shoes. You know what I'm saying? When your kids have big feet, they grow like, girl, what are you talking about? All right. But shame on me, because there really was nobody's business for me to even make a post about that. I think I was talking about the fact that maybe his foot was like too big or something, and the shoe cost so much or whatever. And whatever it was, it don't even matter, all right? So I was thinking about that in that moment when I saw that, as much as I was about to say, girl, now why the hell would you like, that's dumb. And then I'm like, well, girl, I don't know what that girl money looking like. Okay, she about gonna be able to flip that real quick. Go do it with her being a quote unquote rapper and a socialite in the area. She's probably gonna go do a hosting here, or here, and whatever money she just spent on that chain, she's gonna get it back. All that I would say is, if I had that type of money and you're so young, one, I would hope that by the 10 years from now, you have a lot to show for it. Right? You'll have a lot to show for all these racks that you spent out. In addition, I will hope that you have some hard things in place for your children at a later time. Okay, I know you want to give them the world now, and that's something that she mentioned, like when you grow up with things that you don't have and you want to give everything to your kids, and I get that. But I think that he will likely much more appreciate actually having a home with his name on it. But I'm gonna let you do what you want to do anyway, because that's just how you is, and that's your kid. All right, now anywho, we do go on to meet Oh, let me say this too before I go on. Another thing that Miss one thing Miranda has in common, and I love that name Miranda because that's my best friend name. And honestly, that's not her real name, but I call her. That's her middle name, and I call her by that. Like I'm like the only person. And my other friends be like, "Hold up, I thought you. Who you talking about? You talking about Miranda? Because I thought her name was. It is. That is her name. Both of them her name. Okay, I call her what I want. Period. Okay. I love that. I think that's such a pretty name, Miranda. But anywho, so her real name is Miranda. And what we know is she says that Kodak Black was her high school crush or whatever it was. She was her celebrity crush. I'm sorry. Not too different from Miss Sharelle, which is also interesting that Sharelle sees a lot of herself in the young lady or whatever. But I'm like, okay, because Chad was also her crush back in the day, and they both went on to be with their crushes and to also have babies by him too. All right. Not to get treated no better. So what was you really crushing on? Let's keep going. All right. So anywho, we meet Stoney. Now, Stoney happens to be the baby mom to one of Rick Ross's kids. And I believe she has a daughter with him. Right. We also learned that she's still staying in one of his houses too. So she ain't really dating like that because that's intimidating for a few guys. I guess. Is it? Is that what's intimidating them? Or could Miss Sharelle potentially be right that you're just living up off of this man, not trying to do anything for yourself? And maybe they find that to not be something that is attractive. I don't know. I'm just asking. Okay, let's keep going. So she meets with Alexis. All right. So they have a sit down and she tells her about feeling isolated because the ladies have been linking up. Seems like they all got together for a day of golf. They linked up afterwards and she was not necessarily invited. She wants to be a part of the in crowd so bad, and she just really hates that she's being isolated from that, and she doesn't really know why the reasoning is. Okay, so Stoney says she talks about staying with Rick Ross, and she explains how she was dating this guy at one point after Rick Ross. She says she left Rick Ross when her daughter was about 2 years old, never went back, but obviously they've maintained a decent enough relationship for her to go on and live in one of his houses, and I would want to believe that he's continuing to pay for the home that she's living in. Now, I don't fully disagree with that. And like some part of me doesn't fully like, if he's gonna pay for it, cool, I'll stay in it. You can pay for it, and I'm gonna stack my money up. Let me stack my coins up. Now, see, that's what I'm not gonna do. Stay in the home and not be able to shake and move whenever I want. So don't say that you feel like you live in a luxury prison, Stoney, if you're not actively going to do something about it. You seem to enjoy staying in that luxury prison. So don't, girl, it's not giving Wendy Williams, honey. Wendy is staying in a luxury prison where everything is locked down. Okay? You got a call to get up there and everything else. Like, girl, you don't live in that type of prison. So don't say luxury prison because it's not giving that. And then again, Wendy is there by force. You are there by choice. So it's not giving a luxury prison because you are choosing to occupy that space. I just hope that you've been stacking your money up accordingly so that when that time calls or whenever you're ready, you can move on about your business. Okay, so good luck to you. Now, she explains that she left Rick Ross, and shortly after leaving him, she gets in a relationship with this guy. Don't know who this guy is. I'm not going to really search him up. But this guy ended up convincing her, and not really, it seems like he started doing it without her permission, but because she wanted to prove how much she loved him, like so many women do, she went along with allowing their sexual encounters to be filmed. Okay. She wanted to prove to him how much he loved her, and you did all of that proving, and it didn't matter because he continued to go on to cheat on you and obviously show himself to not be much different than damn Rick Ross. Okay, hate to say it. So with that being said, she moved on from that relationship, broke up with him. It was a bit toxic and things, right? So at some point, 50 Cent and Rick Ross gets into a beef. Once they get into this beef, 50 Cent decides to take it upon himself to include a woman that has nothing to do with you and Rick Ross's situation, as if you're hurting Rick Ross by putting out her sexual tape with somebody else. Therefore, it backfiring more so on her because she began to be the collateral damage in this situation. And the conversation went from the beef between you and Rick to it being all about her and her being put out there like that. And shame on that man, because the man that recorded the tape sold it to 50 Cent. 50 Cent takes it and uploads it to thisis50.com. And she sued the brakes off him, as she should have. Now, how many millions of dollars did she get? I don't know, which is very interesting too, because, later on, you would think 50 Cent learned a lesson from that, and he didn't. Now, he may not have put a tape up for profit on thisis50.com, not sure, but he did repost some things of Tierra Marie later on when her sex tape or clip leaked, right? She sues 50 and she loses and still owes him money till this day. Ain't that about a bitch? So I don't know what he did differently, but that's crazy because he didn't learn his lesson the last time. But it is what it is. But he won this time, right? So back to Miss Stoney. Okay. So all of this information came out. And, it really damaged her reputation. She thought about, unaliving herself, plenty of times. It took a toll on her. She thought she was a failure as a mother. A lot of things went through her mind. And I can imagine, because what was supposed to be private for 2 people is now available to 2 million people. That's a lot. That's mental damage for sure. And when I tell you, I would have sued for about as much as Chris Brown and Justin Baldoni and whoever else is suing, it would have been a few hundred million. Not gonna hold you, because once it's out there on the internet, it's out there. Okay, you might have to go through a few loops and scraping to find some things, but girl, it's really out there. You should have used that money to scrub it completely from the internet, in all honesty, and any articles connected to your name, in my opinion. And you probably could have went and got you a little piece of a face change so you don't look like the same person. Like, it's giving a new nose. Like, who is that lady you talking about? It's giving cat eye, just a piece. Like, I don't know. Who is this Stoney you speak of, girl? That's not even my name. Who's that? That's whack. And make too much money to ever go by that. Like, what are you talking about? That's not my name. Okay? That's not my name. That's not it. Okay? My name is Story, girl. Who is Stoney? That's not wrong letters. Wrong letters. It's giving Story. It's giving Stormy. But it would not be giving no damn Stoney. Okay? But that's just me. That's just me. All right? It would have been given a whole new world. A dazzling place I never knew. Because I would not be the same bitch. You're not going to play with me like that. Okay? But anywho, she won, all right? So then Alexis tells her, well, you think that may have something to do with, the ladies kind of like, distancing themselves from you and them not being so receptive. And she says, well, I will hope not. And then that's when she gets really emotional. And I felt her in that moment. I felt really bad for this woman. She didn't have the right people around her. I don't think she even had, the right guidance or anything. So I do feel bad for Stoney that she had to be, subjected to that type of thing, for her name to still be, for that stain to still follow her name till this day. I do feel a bit bad for her, and for people to not want to give her grace to allow her to move past that situation. That feels messed up. I would feel isolated as well. So I do feel for her in that moment. And that's why I really like Alexis in that moment. Like, just, being supportive of her and saying, I'm sorry that you had to deal with that and go through that and stuff, I love that moment. Okay. So then she says that she's still hurt to this day. And it's something that continues to follow her all these years later. And she really hates that people are holding it against her, because it wasn't something that she did intentionally. She did it to please that person in that moment. Yes. But she never thought that they would share it with the world. Okay, so y'all leave y'all thoughts about that down below. Okay, let's get to Ashley, Alexis, Sharelle, and Portia, because they do discuss Stoney back at Ashley's house. And it looks like Portia says Stoney reached out to her to look at a property or something. And honestly, I don't think that Stoney is looking out to learn more about a property. I feel like Stoney is connecting with Portia to develop some type of connection and friendship with her and get insight on why she's being left out with the other ladies. I don't think she's merely interested in that home at all, because I think that she finds true comfort being in the house of Rick Ross. And that's just my opinion on that, okay? What else happened? Sharelle is laughing because she's wondering if the check is even going to clear. She's laughing at her. She thinks that this is a joke. I'm like, Sharelle, this ain't good. Why are you laughing about this lady's situation? Do you know how many people can have money today and gone tomorrow? All these people houses that was wiped the fuck out over there in LA, yeah, they had bread. And maybe they have bread, but it don't mean that they have enough to go and rebuild another house. The way these insurance policies were canceling. Some of those people may have just, damaged their credit a little bit in the past few months and said, it's okay. I don't plan on, purchasing anything anytime soon. So I got the rest of the year or so to get my stuff together, clear up my debt, and then some of next year. Whatever. Like, we don't know what those people were thinking about. And yeah, because they had it before doesn't mean they got it now. And I feel like a lot of rich people aren't too different than us non-rich individuals, right? Where when you get more money, you acquire more expenses too, right? So it can make your money a little tight. You still got wiggle room and range to do different stuff that you want to do, but it still may be a little tight. Like if they want to go and build an investment property or even buy one, it's like, oh, I got it like that. I'm good. Like I got money, but I don't got it like that to go and get a whole nother investment property right now. I might need to wait a year or two. Like, you just don't know. And for her to laugh at her, I really didn't like that. Very disappointing. But we appreciate you bringing a bit of the drama to the show to get the people, tuned in and to get us talking about it, right? So Sharelle brings up the sex tape and says that's all she knows of her. All right. I don't know of her really making moves. And it's like, now you done pulled this lady up, but you didn't pull up that she got a boutique too. Come on now. So anywho, they talk about Stoney suing 50 Cent, her winning. Portia says, girl, I don't give a damn if she was selling cootie twat down to the 50, 11 or whatever. I don't care nothing about it, all right? If she finna come in and buy this house and show interest in this house and potentially purchase it, girl, I just want to make sure the contract and that check clears, okay? What else she got going on in her past? That's her own personal testimony. I'm not fully here to judge. I appreciate that with Portia, okay? I do. So Alexis wants the ladies to give her grace. Doesn't seem like the ladies are really open to that. It seems like Ashley is going to go along with whatever Sharelle says because she trusts Sharelle for whatever reason, and that's not going to be a good look if you are not operating with the own brain that you were given. Shout out to Portia and Alexis for having that. So Sharelle says if she can't benefit from you, then she isn't around you. Sharelle, baby, what do you mean benefit? It sounds like if I can't take advantage of you, then I'm not around you. When you say benefit, what are you referring to? If I can't learn from you? If I can't make money with you, break bread with you, what exactly are you talking about? And who knows, you could potentially do those very things with her, but you're not willing to give her a chance because you're going to allow blogs and stories online to make a decision for you versus actually getting to know the person from their own mouth and your own experience with them. You're not even going to even give her the chance, so you don't know what she can or can't do. But okay, girl. All right, so Sharelle says that Stoney was trying to find out information about her and pretty much get the tea on her. That's what she says. And I said, okay, so now we know what the real issue is. It's not really about her having a sex tape. It's not really about her being an escort. It's about her, one, not knowing who the fuck Miss Sharelle is. Because Sharelle feels that she's in charge of the girls and you should know who I am. But it's also because you were trying to learn negative things about me so you could possibly bring it up on the show. The audacity of you. So that is what Sharelle's real issue is, okay? Let's get to MJ and Sharelle because they link up at the park with the kids. And Sharelle talks to her about Kodak and how she might need a therapist. And MJ says, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't need no damn therapist. It's always the people that say they don't need one that need one. Yeah. But what it is that what you should have said is I have not arrived at that place yet where I'm willing to be seated with a therapist to hear about myself. That's what you should have said, but you're 21 and I have to remember that. That's not how you talk. All right. So she says that she isn't going to keep allowing disrespect when it comes from him. Girl, that man has been disrespectful since you've been crushing on him in school. It's not going to change because you think that you're supposed to be different because you may be mixed with something else other than black. Yikey dikey. Because you may be a piece of a preference does not mean that he's going to treat you better. So when you talk about beefing with one of the baby mamas, my question is it the dark-skinned baby mama? Yikey wikey. Let's keep going, okay? So she says she doesn't want to deal with the embarrassment anymore, privately or publicly. All right. She says that, with him being a rapper, it is expected that he's likely going to be surrounded by a lot of women that's going to do too much. But as long as he has self-control, it's going to be okay. Yeah, no. No, it could be okay for a man that does have self-control, but I wonder and question, how did you get with him? Was he already in a situation when you came along? Because that would typically be how it is, right? So, I mean, you get what's going on. You get what you give, okay? Or you get what you get yourself involved in with. So we learned that she done bust the windows. I bust the windows out your car. She pulled a Jasmine Sullivan, bust the windows out of his vehicle, and she was supposed to be buying him a new car because she bust those windows. Now, I have a few things to say. Number one, why would you need to buy a brand new vehicle when you could just repair the damn windows that you bust out? That makes more sense to me. Hello? And if he did something like cheating or whatever that led to you busting the windows, why would you reward him with a new vehicle? Hello? In addition to that, why do y'all think that tearing up another person's property and your own property is going to bring a bit of relief to the situation? I never understood that. I think that's very not smart. Okay? When I feel like that's hustling backwards, that's loving backwards. Like, I'm not understanding why you would damage it and then you have to go and spend out more money. He'll have to fix that on his own. He the one that created the situation. You go buy it. You go get it fixed, okay? You do that. I did what I needed to do. You go get it fixed. Because had you not been doing what you do, it would have never happened. But then at the same time, I'm not made like that to damage people's property because I'm upset, young or older now. That's just not my stilo. Okay. But clearly it's a lot of people's. And I just don't think that's smart. Hopefully she learns after watching herself on this show and just other situations that happen in life, that if a person gets you to that place, that's definitely not the one that you need to rock out with. That's definitely not the one you need to rock out with. And don't let society make you feel like you got to be with a person because y'all got kids together. Like, no, you don't have to take disrespect from anybody. You could do bad all by yourself. Wholeheartedly. So it's something she has to learn. And I think that MJ can learn a lot if she's around these older women and witnessing how their husbands and their men treat them if it is attached to respect. And hopefully a lot of the husbands and fiancés, boyfriends are respectful. So hopefully she can see something different. But who knows, okay? She's already not seeing that when it comes to Sharelle because Sharelle has acknowledged that, hey, me and Chad are no longer together. Now, what she can learn from Sharelle is that Sharelle's not out here damaging, this man's property from what we know. Okay, but they are being a little messy back and forth on social media. All right, but honestly, with those two, I can't tell whether they joking or not, y'all. I really feel like with Sharelle and Ocho, I think that they still lay up in the bed. Ocho Cinco wanted me. I think they still lay in the bed next to each other after hunching on each other, and they be tweeting back and forth, making people think that it's something when the whole time they laughing at us because we don't know what's going on, and they just as happy as they could be. And she just talking about something they're not together. I don't believe that. I think that they are a piece of steel together, even though she says they're not. All right. But y'all let me know your thoughts. All right. So anywho, she gives him an excuse saying because he's a rapper, he's going to cheat. And she's also considering leaving him at the same time. Yeah, I don't like that she's giving him excuses saying because he's a rapper, it comes with the territory. I don't feel like it has to come with the territory. But I mean, also, I will say there's not many rappers out there that have been faithful for people to look to as an example. So, I guess. Anywho, Sharelle tries to let her know about keeping her boundaries, okay? Just make sure you set your boundaries and don't bend on that. Stand on boundaries as you stand on business, period. And I feel like MJ is hearing her, but I don't really think MJ is listening because as she said, nobody wants to hear you when you're sounding like their mother. And she's not even trying to go to a therapist. So she's really not going to receive a lot from you because she is at a place in her life where she thinks she has everything under control. All right. And see, I'm seeing something else saying that Miranda is 27 years old, you guys. So I'm not sure if she's 27 or 21. All right, there's this other website is saying that she was born March 1997, and they're saying that that would make her 27 years of age. So she's about to be 28. So I'm not sure. I guess she is about to be that old. Maybe she's in her late 20s. And if so, I would expect her to learn a lot more at this time. Okay. So there's that. Leave your thoughts below. But let's get to this whole rooftop setting, because all of the ladies brought their significant others or an ex or whatever up. All right. So Portia makes opportunistic or being an opportunist look good just a bit, because on more than one occasion she's saying that, if you want to, be a part of the upper class, you got to align yourself with them upper class people. All right. If you want to be near the girls that's getting money, or you want to be one of the girls getting money, you got to get with the girls that's getting money. So it's definitely giving her friendships that she's having and connecting herself to is giving opportunistic. Like she's trying to see what she could get out of it, which is interesting considering the fact that you have Sharelle asking Stoney what's her motive when you need to be asking Portia what's her motive. How genuine is she? Because once she acquires what she needs to acquire, she's probably going to leave you in the dust, and you might feel a way about that. Who knows? But she does make it look good, because at the same time, who isn't trying to elevate? Who isn't trying to connect themselves with somebody that's doing what you want to do? That's what you do, so she does make being an opportunist look good a bit. So I kind of don't fault her a little bit, but it's just funny that you asking what's her motive when everybody up here damn near has a motive if they're on this show. But let's keep going. So Anywho, we meet Jules. Okay, so Jules, she's in marketing. She used to work for Kanye West, and she seemed to be a bit cool to me, like I told you guys. But then we also learned that not so much. There's been negative stories put out there about Miss Jules, and I have to say, I want us at this particular time to go ahead and hop over and get into an article, because I had to do some research on this woman to see what I could find, because what I was seeing was either information about WAGs, or I was seeing information about her and Kanye West. So I had to go a little further back, and I did find an article that was written over on BET, and they're telling Jules to keep black women's names out her mouth. So that's where I was like, let's go dive into this article just a bit to learn a bit more about Miss Jules. And we'll also play her audio of what she said before the show premiered. And then we'll hop back into the show and pick up where we left off on the rooftop. Okay. Sorry guys, if this video is much longer than what you expected, honey, but some of you guys, I know y'all like the long videos. So hey, honey. So it says, dear yes, Jules, keep black women's names out of your mouth. Okay. Every time I hear keep that name out your mouth, it's giving Will Smith. So somebody about to slap her. Okay. And it looks like this article is about to slap her. So they're saying, despite her countless pleas for attention over the past several years, Juliana, yes, Jules Goodard, has been a beneficiary of the doubt, but it's about time she's called out on her BS. The vendetta she has against black women and the outlandish, incomprehensible need for black men to cape for her must end. Now that's interesting, because when you say black men to cape for her, she was working for Kanye West, and she wanted Kanye West to come out and support her and speak out when it came down to her being fired by that manager or whoever it was, who I believe happened to be the white guy. But let's keep going. So they go on to say, we haven't forgotten about her 2017 incident when she tweeted a photo of a crop that read, niggas lies a lot, or niggas lie a lot. All right. She says, and posed the question of whether she should wear it to a music festival she was hosting. Immediately, her bold caucasity was checked, and she posted a tearful apology via her then wildly popular Snapchat amid being fired from 2 major events. Woo. So yes, Jules, this seems to be something that's not uncommon for you, which is to be fired on more than one occasion. Now listen, the verdict is still out for me when it comes to yes, Jules. I am getting into the articles and things about her. I'm not going to judge her just yet, because I wasn't really privy to some of this. I want to be the Alexis in this situation and give her the benefit of the doubt. So we'll continue to watch the show and see how things play out. So I understand the article says she's always been the beneficiary of the doubt. And I'm going to give her a little bit of that. We're going to get more into the article and we'll see how she shows up on the show. So it says prior to that, she stated via Twitter that hashtag white thoughts. Damn, why do you... Girl, I was just going to give you a piece of the benefit of the doubt. But not you sat up here and said NIGGA's a lie, and asked if you should wear it to an event, a music event at that, and then turn around and say hashtag white thoughts. So are you white or what are you? So she says, damn, why do all these black girls hate me? I've been so nice. Walks out club with a light-skinned dude. Black girls don't like me because black men do. Ma'am, no one gives an entire fuck about who likes you. And I need for you to understand that, and any other woman that is not black. Okay? We wholeheartedly do not give a damn. What we give a damn about is the disrespect that is given towards us after you guys have made your choice and chose your preference, okay? That is the issue. Primarily, I don't care who you marry, who you date, what you do, but you ain't got to disrespect people that look like black women in your very own family, okay? You don't, after you've made your decision. I promise the women don't care. Okay, I promise they don't. And then when you guys act a certain way, you black men, then you give grace, I feel, or permission, shall I say, to women that are not black to continue to be disrespectful to women that look like your very own family members and some of your daughters. Get that together, okay? Yes, Jules, girl, I might have to pull back just a little piece, bitch, okay? Because as soon as I said that, it switched up by the very next sentence. Let's keep going. So she says, it's a guarantee in any situation. I walk in a room with a group of girls. Room has men from every ethnicity. Black men beeline straight to Jules. Yikey dikey. Yikey dikey. And not you turned around and beelined yourself to this show full of black women to be a part of, to save your image on. And it gives to me that these black women dug in that ass before you were done with this season, which is why you had to come to the front with the video trying to disassociate yourself from it. I'm disappointed. I am disappointed because I still want to see the best in you. When everyone else around can only see the worst in you. Let's keep going. All right. She says just a few weeks ago, the social media maven of a Puerto Rican and Italian descent. So that's what she is. She's Puerto Rican and Italian. Spewed some bars about her superiority over black women with mentions of black on black crime, and her fat ass that she maintains is a surgical enhancement. You want to be Kim Kardashian very bad, I see. Hence the reason you about jumped at the opportunity to work with that black man, Kanye. And it's very interesting as we get into episode 2, because you want to praise the black man, it appears, for liking you, black women for disliking you, but you want to sit with the black woman and talk about how that black man, that baby daddy, you, matter of fact, I don't know if he's black. I'm going to look that up. But how he just may have sat up there and disrespected you and downplayed you. Girl, do you think that the women are jealous of that? No, ma'am. But again, this article was in 2019. I don't know how she feels today. I don't know how she has grown over the past 5+ years. Okay, guys? Okay. I don't know if I stand corrected or not, but this appears to be her baby daddy. Her fiance, Duke Riley, broke up with her in 2024. Now, I don't know if what this man is mixed with, if he's Puerto Rican in the time. I don't know what he got going on. But this appears to be, he was born and raised in Louisiana. Okay, so I'll let you guys fill me in the comments down below on, what is he? Is he black, child? Is he something else? Is he a piece of blood? What's going on? All right, but let's go ahead and let us get back to this article here. All right. They're saying the viral crime against humanity had Joe Budden, former friend and cultural critic, asking for a lyrical breakdown, and rising hip-hop phenom Kari Foe, irate, proving just how much of a Jules does not give. Okay, so is this the status? Can I go to the status? Okay. I don't know if it was deleted or not, but we'll keep going. Maybe this is it. It says, not long before the video surfaced, Jules tweeted, I got a video of me freestyling. I'm not sure if I should post it or confiscate all evidence that it ever happened. But his commentary on the matter boils down to him tweeting, whack Jules dissing blacks while being surrounded by blacks, but can't seem to make a coin without. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Man, everyone have a good Saturday, he says. That time she took her white tears to Instagram with a lengthy rebuttal and that lyric breakdown per request. Let me tell y'all something. I blame a lot of y'all black people that have individuals such as her and Erica Mena that are so looped in and tied into the community that they feel okay saying and doing things. Hell, you guys have been letting Fat Joe do it for years. So a lot of us just be like, okay, well, all right. Now they all may have different backgrounds just a bit. I'm not sure if somebody may be Dominican, Puerto Rican, I'm not sure what it is. But some people say there's not much of a difference, and then some individuals say there is much of a difference. Okay, I won't act like I'm fully educated on that, but I'm open to being educated. So talk to me nice in the comments. All right. So she made this post a few years ago. And girl, it's a lot. Do we want to get into it? I kind of do because I want to hear what you have to say because now it seems like you're trying to change your tune. She says, as someone who usually moves with haste, I have made it a point to take my time addressing the verse and the backlash it has caused over the past week. I've taken time to speak to a number of friends, non-supporters, and everything in between to be sure that I fully understand to the best of my ability all angles and opinions at hand. I've hurt a culture that has accepted me and allowed me to express myself freely within their spaces as a guest, and that is the furthest from my intentions. I love and admire this community, and my only aim is to give back to it what it has given to me. The passion in the video verse wasn't to offend, but to express my feelings on unfair conditions as a culture and people that have allowed me to participate in have been subjected to from a firsthand perspective. I have seen some of the reactions and I would like to share the verse lyrics with you as to clear up any misconceptions, as it has come to my attention that a few of the lines have been cited incorrectly. I do not agree with nor participate in the narrative of black on black crime. The they I was referring to who never give back and are murdering people are the counterparts running the corporations and buildings who control and profit off of the art and artists in discussion. Okay, I'm not going to get into the lyrics. I do not care to get into that portion, but let's see how she ends this. She says, I want to apologize to any of my friends or supporters who have been affected by my lack of responsibility and carelessness. Okay, so that's that. I don't know if they even showed the song.
You know, might on your neck should have never let me in. Miami like Cali, all I do is win. Crept through the industry curtain. My feelings are hurting. These artists are starving. They keep us stay bloated. They walking around gloated. Their children are loaded. Small royalties afford the chains. That us from floated. Never wanted a range or needed nice things.
Yeah.
Just want to see all my mains growing.
Yeah.
Never been one for the fame. Just keep my head down and stay never not working.
Yeah.
Because my ass is fat and my skin ain't black. I'm the vulture that's a If they never do nothing, they never give back. They keep killing blacks and I realize. Don't let me start snapping our might on your neck. Should have never let me in. Miami like Cali, all I do is win. Crept through the industry curtain. My feelings are hurting. These artists are starving. They keep us stay bloated. They walking around gloated.
Child, shut the hell up. And it's y'all black people over there hyping her up. Shut the hell up. Okay. Ooh, Rocky y'all know Rocky always sitting on the side ready to go in. She says, BIT. Yes, Jules added again a week later with her victimized tears and fake apologies. How are you sorry for the racist SHI you said last week? But yeah, here you are again in this video repeating the same exact white supremacist rhetoric straight at Just Hilarious on the Nick Cannon show in slightly different words. Help us understand how every single time you get called out for being the racist culture vulture slime that you are, all of a sudden you're unaware that you said some disrespectful shit, girl.
You already know what I'm about to do. Yeah, I'm thick and I'm white. Yeah, have a tape out. That's nice. Yeah, I'm adopted. That's right. But Jess, I bet I'm still your man's type.
Flag on the play. Fart on those bars, please. Fart on those bars, please. Okay. Fart on those bars, please. No, ma'am. Girl, yes, the reputation is preceding you. It is preceding you just a bit. Okay. Now, Sharelle, I don't know what your background is either. I don't know if you're fully, but I think Sharelle may be fully black. I think she showed us her parents. I think she might be completely black, but the last name Rosado, I don't know. She might be a bit of mixed. And is that the reason why, Sharelle, you feel that you will give a pass to Jules based on her history? You know what I'm saying? When you have black children, I'm just trying to understand. Is that why you give her a pass, but not giving Stoney a pass? I'm just trying to understand about that portion. Feel free to come to the front as needed and just explain that just a bit. I don't know if you're going to address it on Humble Baddies podcast or what, but if she has addressed it, y'all let me know. Let's go ahead and keep going, okay? Let's get into more because the ladies bring their men to the rooftop because that's what we're talking about. I just wanted to tap into Jules for just a second, but we'll get back into the rooftop. So Tyreek appears to be so happy and in love with his fiance. And at that time, I was like, I love that for him. I don't think that really changes just yet as we're getting into more episodes, but I love that he was over there admiring her beauty and how she's handling her business. Okay. I also love that he supports her in whatever it is that she's trying to do. I love that. I don't fully support the men that got all the money. I want the wife to just sit at the house and take care of the kids and all this and that, whatever the case, okay? No, okay? They want you to do that, and then once everything is said and done, should you guys not last, you won't have nothing to show for it, and it ain't like he gonna be always willing to give you his money for you to sit around and do nothing. He's gonna want you to get up and work, okay? So I say go ahead and get to the bag, all right? While you're in the relationship. But I appreciate the guy for supporting her and not condemning her and making her feel like she can't or shouldn't go out and do those things. Okay. So Sade's man Chosen has shown up. Chosen was playing on the same team as Tyreek. And right now, I think he's up in the air and doesn't know if he's going to return to the same team or go somewhere else. So we don't know what's going on with Chosen at this time. Now, Jules does get a text message from Kanye West where he sends out a message to her and the rest of the people that were on his team, letting them know that some guy, I don't know if this was a manager or an assistant, but he's been operating, he's been doing certain things without the approval of Kanye and acting like he's Kanye, okay? And that's kind of what he was trying to say. And Jules says, listen, I don't believe that the firing that took place publicly, I don't believe that was Kanye West. I don't believe it at all. However, I do feel a way that he did not come to the front and he did not defend me. Okay, when all of this went down and I ended up losing millions of dollars. And my question is, did you lose those millions of dollars because you had other deals in rotation for yourself? And once that went public, they said, scratch that. Or did you lose those millions of dollars because you were fired from being connected to Kanye West because it was Kanye West opportunities that you would have benefited from? That's kind of what I'm wondering. I'm not going to say she shouldn't be mad. I probably would be mad with Kanye West too. Like if you know that it wasn't you that's been doing those things, then come out and clear it up and say, hey, y'all, it wasn't me. You're sending a message to us people trying to clear it up when we need you to go publicly and clear it up and say that did not happen. I did not fire these individuals and blast the person that's been doing it. And maybe he did at the time. I don't recall. But I do feel like she has a right to feel that way. She has a right to feel that way. But after reading what I read, I kind of have a right to not give a damn either. Okay. And it is giving a little bit of what BET said, where you've always been given the benefit of the doubt and you often need a black man to come forward to cape for you. Just a little piece. Okay. So it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that it happened. Pick yourself up and keep it pushing, as so many other black women have to do. Good luck. All right. Ashley asked Alexis if she believes Jules and what she said. And Alexis says, you know what? I do. And she says, I think she's at a place where she's trying to change her image. Okay. The narrative surrounding her reputation. I think she's trying to change that. And Ashley said, well, I feel like she should be fired. Okay. Based on the information that's out there with her, I feel like she should be fired. And I think that she's trying to save face and everything about her is giving skeptical. Now, when I watched this originally, I was like, Ashley, like, girl, like, you ain't even got to be like that. Give this lady a chance, right? After getting more in detail in this article, I understand exactly why Ashley said what she said. Okay? I understand. Like, girl, I'm never going to forget the shit you said about us black women, bitch. Okay? So that's what you get. You got fired. Now what? So, girl, that's crazy, okay? But anywho, leave your thoughts below. Stony shows up. When Stony shows up, Sharelle talks about not liking Stony, okay? Staying under Rick Ross. She says that she keeps yeah, she pretty much just talks about, I don't like the fact that she's gotten all these millions of dollars and you didn't do anything with it. You didn't set yourself up good. You didn't do anything. Instead, you choose to live up under your baby daddy, Rick Ross. I don't like that. I don't think that's cool. She also attacks her age, okay? She calls her a senior citizen. And then at another time, we're going to hear her call her a grandma. And I'm just like, damn, you just keep going in on this lady and her age. And how would you feel if MJ said that about you because you're an elder to her? Right? And I'm just like, listen, like, give that lady a little bit of grace. People make mistakes. People don't have the right individuals around them. A lot of people operate with that hood mentality, trying to show off once they get money instead of just laying low and having long money. A lot of millionaires aren't flashy. And I'm talking about good, thick millionaires. A lot of them are not flashy like that. Okay? So I don't know. Like, I just don't like the energy that I'm getting from Sharelle right now. I just don't like how she's coming down on Stony. She does get the opportunity to tell Stony to her face, like, I don't like you. And everything I research about you is saying sex tape and escort. That's what I'm just telling you what it's given, okay? And I am not a fan of that. I do not like that. That's why I don't like you. But it's like, Sharelle, tell her the real reason as well. Like, hey, I heard that you were around here snooping up information on me. I don't take too lightly of that. One, you didn't know who I was. That's the problem, but you're coming on my show. And then two, you're trying to dig up dirt on me. I don't like that. Maybe y'all could have both cleared up that issue. And then you could have let her know I did some digging on you since you were doing digging on me. And this is what I learned about you, and I don't like it. How about that? All right. So I feel like Sharelle isn't being completely honest, but Stony lets her know, like, whoa, I didn't know that y'all were the pussy patrol. I said, I know that's right. Because ain't nobody clocking y'all miles and patrolling what y'all got going on, right? Even before she came over, the girls were trying to say, listen, all of us have done some things on video or just done some things in general that we would not want to get out. All right. We all have been a bit freaky. And I was with, I think her name was Sade. Sade was like, I ain't never do that like that. Girl, don't put me in that, girl. I ain't, So I was with Sade, like, no, I haven't participated in that. If somebody else did it, it was a hidden camera, and I dare you to put it out so we could go ahead and get them coins up off you. But also at the same time, just because I have not experienced that as she has, doesn't mean that I cannot have grace for her with that situation. So Sharelle, Stony actually, I think she pulls Sharelle to the side. First of all, she pulls her to the side, tries to explain to her the situation, and Sharelle was not trying to hear it. She was still standing firm on what it is that I pulled up on Google about you, says this or that. And because that is attached to your brand, I don't think your brand can be aligned with my brand. Like, we just cannot connect like that. I just don't think that's right. But y'all let me know. Anywho, yes, Jules jumps into the conversation and says that the people had misconceptions about her. And then once they got to know her, they realized how cool she is, like, because they gave her a chance or whatever. And it's like, yeah, you may be cool now. Now you're cool, and you probably had to do a bit of apologizing to those ladies as well for the things that you may have said and done. And now you're good. So I guess, all right. But all in all, Sharelle is still not feeling Stony. She's asking this woman what her motive is. And I'm like, if that's the case, you should ask every single woman that came up to the rooftop what their motives are. That's not okay, girl. So anywho, Stony has a boutique. And with this boutique, she says that she has lost some friends because they don't support her. They rather shop with somebody else's boutique versus shopping with her. And as I've said earlier, girl, the strangers are always going to support you more than the people that actually know you. Okay? You're going to get very few, maybe one or two people, more likely one that actually knows you, and maybe even family or not, that's going to share your stuff and promote you. You know what I'm saying? And even probably watch your content or purchase from you or whatever it is. It's going to be very few. But you can't do your thing and live your life for those immediate people around you, because chances are those people don't see it for themselves either. Those people are still trying to navigate their hopes and dreams and goals, right? So when they see somebody else trying to go for it, sometimes that can be a bit of jealousy, and they don't want to support you because you may get there before them or whatever the case is. Okay, it's not happening for them, so they don't want it to happen for you. But you can't sit back and just go off of them. Your success doesn't ride on the back of them. It rides on the back of you and the millions of other people that are outside of those individuals, okay? It's so many other people, all right? Build it and they will come. It ain't going to be the ones you know. It's going to be the ones you don't know, all right? So just, let them folks do what they going to do. And once you start seeing people for who they are, start scaling back. Let me know, is that a deal breaker for y'all if your friends do not promote what it is that you do? If you had a boutique, if they don't promote, if they don't purchase, for me, it's not really a deal breaker for me, because sometimes I feel like friends may not fully understand what you're trying to do. And you may have to, as you're continuing to succeed in it, then they get it. They may not get it in the beginning, but then eventually, they get it. But if you're, but I also don't want you like taking shots or trying to say something slick or anything like that about what I'm trying to accomplish or whatever. Over time, I'll probably start rocking with you. Like not only do you not support, but you also give these shady comments about it as well. So you're feeling away. Let me get you up out my circle immediately. But I don't think it's necessarily, a deal breaker. But if you're sharing somebody else's stuff more than you're sharing mine, maybe over time people can develop some negative feelings about that. Right? But let me know your thoughts, okay? Let me know if you feel like that's a deal breaker when your friend does not support your business or anything that you're trying to do, but they'll be quick to promote somebody else. Let me know your thoughts and experiences down below, okay? This was a really lengthy review. I think it was really good for the first episode. We'll be getting into more. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please go ahead, subscribe to the channel. You can follow me on social media as well. That's Instagram, Blue Sky. That's Twitter, TikTok, Facebook at JamiThatsMe. Definitely come on over to the Facebook, okay? I have 2 different pages, all right? But there is one that has a pink logo, and that's the page I really want you guys to start following. So if you come on over to the Facebook, that'll be great so we can get some things popping over there as well, all right? And it's all Jami, that's me, okay? That's all I got for you guys at this time. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
Yeah, tell them I preach to the choir. Stand on my feet to the fire. Give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters, I'm silent, nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification, them numbers hit like it's a proxy. Cashed out at the ATM, and the ATL, they done made a gym. I've been kicking doors like the ATF, got them trying to clone me like Aegis. Game time, I invaded gym, high elevated, I could face the rim. Putting shots up, I got laser focus, about to take it over, I'm Invader Zim. On a trip to Florida like it's A&M. Who that nigga, man, they say I'm him. Spit the truth, never wasting film, I can